Darlings, and darlings. How are you guys doing? It's Sunday. I'm actually feeling really lazy today. Actually, I feel like every day I feel lazy. But you just gotta get through it, gotta dust yourself off, and just keep on moving. Although, honestly, I will be doing some yard work, like the front yard needs to be swept up and gotten rid of. Um, I call them community leaves. Um, our street has a lot of neighbors who've got a lot of trees, and when it gets windy, like we've just had 3 weeks in a row practically, all them leaves belong to everybody. Yeah, so I know, but it's additional exercise for your auntie Sarsi. What can I say? As you get to my age, 107, you gotta get on the exercise train. Anyway. Um, so I hope you guys are having a wonderful ending to your week and a wonderful beginning to your upcoming week. Uh, let's see. Busy, condensed week upcoming. And I think all the way into June, my schedule is going to be topsy-turvy, just very compacted and condensed with new work projects. So I had hoped that I would have like a more uniform schedule for my little reviews and or commentary videos on YouTube. But hey, such is life, right? You just run with it. You deal with it how best you can. And speaking of dealing with, OMG, I thought I had read somewhere, or maybe I'm wrong in this, that the Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively and crew, I'll just say crew, um, has been given a trial date of 2026 sometime, like February 2026. Don't quote me on that, but I believe sometime in 2026 is when they are quoted to actually have a definitive, I'll use the word loosely, definitive trial. So it looks like Miss Lively and her lawyers have decided, you know what, we're gonna file a motion asking the judge for a gag order, and presumably this is for both parties, right? Now then, I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, at least it hasn't been reported whether the judge has decided to review and hand down, his decree on whether Blake Lively and her lawyers are within reason to issue a gag order for all parties involved, or otherwise. There's no reports on that yet. And in the interim, looks like Justin Baldoni, because again, there has not been a judge order for both parties to zip it and stop talking to the press and anybody else who's not, your lawyer or anybody else who's not involved in the actual lawsuit. Justin Baldoni and his legal team has decided they are going to release a website, or decided they were going to put up a new website, just for the, well, us. For us public people, to make our own decisions, I guess, on what truly, according to him, has transpired between his team and Blake Lively. And obviously his team includes him, and Blake Lively's team includes hers. So anywho, so He decided to launch a new website over the weekend, alleging unseen texts between himself and Blake Lively. Obviously, we're not going to see these texts between the two of you. Y'all, duh. Anywho, and as we know, Blake Lively is suing him for intimate harassment, as well as her husband, Ryan Reynolds, their publicist, I believe. Now, the website that Justin had put up or launched over the weekend, it's called Lawsuit Info, I believe, and there's like two links. One is the amended version of his $400 million lawsuit against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, her husband, and their publicist, Leslie Sloan. And the other one is the second link is linking to a 168-page document outlining the timeline of events before and after the filming of the movie It Ends With Us, which he filed in court as an exhibit to his amendment complaint. 168? Hot dang. Wow. Wow, those court clerks are going to have a great time just perusing through it. Jeez, nuts. So now the 168-page court filing includes, again, the never before seen texts and emails that Baldoni allegedly exchanged with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, who, according to Justin, steamrolled him during the making of the movie. So Justin Baldoni is contending that he basically had very little oversight over the movie, how it runs, the script, and the nitty-gritty. In a nutshell, is what he's contending in his lawsuit. And also, I believe he is suing Blake Lively and her team for defamation and extortion. I believe that's what So one of the messages shown on the website is allegedly between Baldoni and Lively from April 2023, and showing them discussing the rewrite for the film's iconic rooftop scene. I haven't seen the movie. Honestly, I have not. Now, at this point, people are more curious about their lawsuit and the craziness about them, the craziness behind the scenes, than wanting to actually watch the movie, which is really sad. So Lively allegedly wrote to her co-star / director, Justin Baldoni is her co-star as well as director of the movie, that, quote, if you knew me in person longer, you'd have a sense of how flirty and yummy the ball busting will play. It's my love language. Spicy and playfully bold, never with teeth. ... Unquote. Okay. All right. Excuse me, Sean. And then another text again from April 2023. Baldoni told Blake he could set her up with an intimacy coordinator that he hired for the film. I remember Blake had also, one of the points in her lawsuit against Baldoni and his team is that there were no intimate coordinators for scenes in the movie that required one, a more intimate toned scenes in the movie. She contended that there were no intimacy coordinators in those scenes. So I'm not sure if this is just for like specific scenes that they're not there, or they're just hired for a few scenes. I don't know, or the entire run of the filming of the movie. Anyway, so again, Baldoni had told from the text from April 2023, Baldoni told Blake he could set her up with an intimacy coordinator that he hired for the film. So, okay. So I guess it is the entirety of the filming process. And in response, Lively wrote, quote, I feel good. I can meet her when we start. Thank you, though. Unquote. So I'm not sure if that meant, like, just to meet, see if she needed help or assistance, or that she was very, very truly grateful that, he had hired one in advance of filming these intimate scenes, um, to make Blake feel much, much more comfortable in filming those scenes. But again, not sure. Now, 2 months earlier, prior to those texts, according to the leaked text messages, Ryan Reynolds told Baldoni that he adores Justin in a text message. Quote, "I'm excited for you to work together," per allegedly Ryan Reynolds writing to Justin Baldoni. Quote, "I'm excited for Blake to crack open her creative piggy bank with someone as dynamic as you. This is going to be," all caps, "incredible. I happen to adore you, Justin," unquote. So from that, if truly from Ryan Reynolds, I guess they were still in good terms. Because sometimes you fall out with people that you actually, in the moment, really adored, right? Really liked deeply, or what have you. I mean, family members fall out and don't speak for ages. So how much more for people who are not actually blood related, right? Anyway, continuing on, in June 2023, Lively allegedly texted Baldoni and invited him to her trailer to go over their lines. The text allegedly went, quote, "I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work on our lines," unquote. And allegedly Baldoni had responded with, quote, "Copy, eating with crew, and I will head that way," unquote. So, I think, if I remember correctly, one of the contentions was that Baldoni had just busted into her private space, her private trailer on in whatever location they were in while filming, and that she had been undressed because she was breastfeeding, and that Baldoni had not, been invited, or had invaded her privacy, basically. So, okay. Those alleged text messages do show a direct contrast to several points, at least, that Blake Lively had contended occurred. This is why she's suing Justin Baldoni and several other people on his team. So, yeah. Okay. Ooh. Also included in Justin Baldoni's amended lawsuit, Baldoni accused Reynolds of using the character Nice Pool in Deadpool, the movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, as a, quote, "transparent and mocking portrayal of Reynolds' warped perception of Baldoni," unquote. Baldoni claims that the Nice Pool scene was shot after an, quote, "ambush," unquote, at Reynolds and Lively's apartment, where Reynolds allegedly berated Baldoni and demanded he apologize for things that Baldoni insisted he didn't do. Now, again, this website by Justin Baldoni was launched to refute Lively's claims that he intimately harassed her on the set of the film. Oh, my. Now, dear, I have to say, it is quite clever. I'm not sure yet. I'm still in the middle ground of, like, in between the two, because obviously everybody will have their own perception of truth, right? With all the emotions that come with that. So, anyway, both sides have, or at least try to present their versions of the truth, and they're within their rights about it. I'm just saying it is very clever though of Justin Baldoni after obviously having heard, maybe his team having heard that Blake Lively is obviously trying to get a judge to agree to hand down a gag order for both of the parties. But since that hasn't yet been approved, or I mean, I don't know. I don't know how heavy the judge's docket is and his schedule is, or her schedule is. I thought it was very interesting and very clever. And there's no shade to Blake Lively and her team at all. That Justin Baldoni was just like, oh, okay, so you want to go that way? All right, then, I got something for you. I'm going to go ahead of that potential gag order, if there will be an approval for that or otherwise. I'm just going to get ahead of it and just, make available in the public domain the facts, the alleged facts, according to Justin, obviously, of the story that you're trying to push through in the media as me being this villain or whatever have you. And obviously both sides are going to try and make each other be a villain, so yikes. Ooh, yikes. Yikes. Well, what can we say? This news is definitely dominating the airwaves. The entertainment airwaves, I should say. The entertainment airwaves. I mean, golly, jeez nuts. You've got bombs after bombs dropping. I mean, sheesh. I suppose in this lawsuit, they're just going to try and outdo each other with, with their facts. I'm just saying. So let's wait for more. I'm sure there will be more because, ooh, spicy. It's just like, yikes. I do wonder if there's going to be more names like getting dragged into this, like people catching strays, because obviously Blake Lively and her husband are big celebrities. Justin Baldoni is likely a celebrity in his own right, but more like in the background. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Much more interesting as the days and the months come leading up to their actual trial. Oh my goodness. All right, darlings, that's all we have for that. Remember, you are all kinds of fabulous. Don't you forget that. And also, try to leave grace for others, but do not ignore those red flags. Literally, don't ignore those red flags. And always try to remember to journey in gratitude, my darling dears. I shall see you all in the next go round. Toodaloo for now. Bye.